I am the top health and wellness podcaster from a conservative perspective. My show is called Culture Apothecary, and today I am taking a risk with this speech on purpose because the American people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We are in the middle of a baby-making health crisis, and this is not a left-right issue. This is a future, no future issue. In our mission to make America healthy again, there are lobbyists right now trying to infiltrate the conservative movement, people who want to protect profit and industry over people, including vulnerable children. If we care about MAHA, we have to stay on mission. We have to define our terms, and we have to decide what legacy we're leaving behind. Because a movement that won't protect children's bodies will not ever protect the country. Big chemical, big ag, and big food are trying to split MAGA from MAHA so things can go back to business as usual, but we don't want that, do we? There are people in this very room who would rather I not say what I'm about to say today, but I'm saying it anyway. They are trying to change your mind on a core coalitional issue, the unpoisoning of America. And we will not let them succeed because the health of the next generation depends on it. People aren't talking about the chemicals that we are consuming every day that are quietly altering our hormones when they should be. Right now, the U.S. fertility rate is 1.6 births per woman, well below the replacement level of 2.1 needed to sustain a nation. Today, 15% of American women experience infertility. 13% of men report sterility or difficulty fathering a child. Men and women across this country are struggling to start families and asking the question, what is happening to us? Our biology is being altered quietly but profoundly. And if we as conservatives truly care about family formation, healthy pregnancies, and the fertility of the next generation, then we must confront chemical exposure and the fertility crisis, not someday, but now, because a nation that can't reproduce cannot remain free. It's gonna get spicy. Let's start with the men. Guys, this part should concern you. Testosterone levels in young American men are declining sharply. Scientists estimate that 1 in 5 men now has testosterone deficiency, and that number is rising. And testosterone isn't just about muscle or libido, it's the engine behind sperm production. At the same time, sperm counts have dropped by roughly 50% in the last 50 years, and that decline is accelerating. How is this happening? We're drinking from plastic bottles and door-dashing hot food in plastic. We're eating food sprayed with toxic pesticides and surrounding ourselves with synthetic fragrances in our homes, our cars, and on our bodies. All of these impair testosterone and fertility. They didn't weaken men with ideology first. You see, they weakened men with chemical exposure that are basically like kryptonite to testosterone. Take glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup, the most widely used weed killer in human history. It's found throughout our food supply. Eating weed killer with every meal sounds delicious, right? But here's the part that should stop everyone cold. Glyphosate can cross the blood-testes barrier and end up in semen. Studies show it impairs sperm motility, making it harder for sperm to reach the egg, which means, yes, weed killer could be in your baby gravy right now. I mean, that should concern you. And then there's atrazine. Who's heard Alex Jones talk about some chemical that makes the frogs gay? Raise your hand. Turns out he wasn't wrong. When frogs were exposed to atrazine, some were chemically castrated and feminized. Genetic males developed female reproductive organs, and some even produced viable eggs. What is less known is this. Human exposure to atrazine in the womb is linked to genital malformations in men, like when the pee hole isn't in the right place on the penis. And it even could be contributing to shrinking penis sizes. I am talking about micro penises becoming increasingly common. Despite this, atrazine, the micro penis chemical, is present in the drinking water of 40 million Americans. Europe banned it, we didn't. Talk about a war on masculinity. Why is the current EPA okay with this? Let's talk about the women. We are often more heavily exposed to endocrine-disrupting chemicals through makeup, lotions, fragrances, and food. And because the female endocrine system is more complex, it's also more vulnerable. You've seen it, your friends struggling to get pregnant. According to the CDC, it's 1 in 7 women. Many are pushed into expensive fertility treatments that may not even work or forced to go childless altogether. And even when pregnancy happens, the risks don't disappear. Glyphosate exposure has been associated with miscarriage, shortened pregnancies, preterm birth, and increased NICU admissions. Preterm birth remains one of the leading causes of infant morbidity and mortality in the United States. If this were happening by accident, it would be tragic. But it is happening right now by policy. So what about the babies? This is where the damage becomes permanent. Researchers measured glyphosate levels in pregnant women and then examined the sexual development of their babies. In baby girls, higher glyphosate exposure was linked to androgenization, meaning chemicals were altering sexual development in the womb. And glyphosate is just one of many chemicals that can change your baby's sexual development in the womb. Other exposures are linked to early puberty, infertility later in life, and lifelong hormonal disruption. You don't get a second chance at sexual development. What happens in the womb doesn't stay in the womb, it echoes for generations. These chemicals, man-made in factories, can scramble, block, or mimic hormones, sending false signals throughout the body. Plastic is a perfect example. Plastics contain chemicals like bisphenols and phthalates that leach into food and water. Bisphenols act like estrogen. Phthalates reduce testosterone. They're found in water bottles, fragrances, pesticides, and personal care products. Hormones are precise. They are sex-specific. They are age-specific. If a baby's hormones are altered by chemicals, like if estrogen or testosterone shows up at the wrong time, like when these hormone mimicking chemicals leach from a plastic bottle into your drink, then it can totally change the course of a baby's sexual development. If that sounds like a problem, that's because it is. So why is this still happening? Because the system meant to protect us is corrupted. The EPA continues to approve chemicals that disrupt reproductive systems, claiming that substances like glyphosate and atrazine are safe despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. EPA, listen to the youth here when we say a regulator that sides with industry is no longer a regulator, it's a collaborator. President Trump promised clean food and water for the American people, and I know that he will keep that promise. But the EPA is central to achieving MAHA, and right now, industry lobbyists are helping write the rules, and we did not vote for that. Warning labels are inadequate or non-existent. People aren't warned, and children are currently paying the price. And now, here's where it gets diabolical and downright demonic. Chemical manufacturers, as we speak, are pushing for legal immunity from lawsuits, meaning if a chemical makes you sick, they don't want you to be able to sue. Bayer is taking this fight all the way to the Supreme Court. Hey, Bayer, if Roundup is safe, why are people getting cancer from it? Why have you paid $9 billion in settlements to victims harmed by glyphosate? If these chemicals are safe, why are you afraid of the courtroom, Bayer? EPA, if you are MAHA, why are you protecting this? These companies want immunity because they already know the verdict. Guilty. When corporations get immunity, children pay the consequences. If they are given immunity from lawsuits, hear me when I say this, they will be putting the proper sexual development of an entire generation in grave danger. That cannot happen. Everyone in this room is asking and demanding the EPA, the legislators, and the Supreme Court to remember the sexual development of children and protect it. We cannot let the EPA remain captured by an industry willing to sacrifice your children's fertility. Do not let the same industry rewrite the laws meant to protect families, and certainly don't give legal immunity to companies that continue to lie about the safety of their products. If the conservative movement is pro-family and pro-life, then protecting fertility is not optional. You cannot be pro-life while poisoning the womb. Now, in fairness, the EPA this week has recently been talking to MAHA leaders, my friends and I, and have said publicly that they are presenting a plan to start to address these issues. It's good to see that they are listening to our concerns. However, it is worth noting that one of the people they sent this week to have a conversation with us is a chemical lobbyist. You thought we wouldn't figure it out? Yesterday, the EPA confirmed with a press release that a chemical lobbyist would oversee chemicals. He has spent his entire career lobbying for weakened chemical regulations for industry, not for children's health. Now, I was born at night, but not last night. We are hopeful that change will come, but we must stay vigilant and we must make sure that they protect our hormones and our fertility so that they can live up to this beautiful vision of President Trump's mandate to make America healthy again. The chemical crisis is at the root of our fertility crisis. And the American family is sick of being poisoned, tired of being sick, and tired of struggling to conceive. This America Fest is about deciding what kind of country we want. We have a limited window to make America healthy again, and we were given a gift to win 2024, and that was motivated MAHA moms. Pesticides and chemical exposure is a top voting issue for young people and mothers. If we want to win 2026 and 2028, do not ignore us. I love President Trump, and I love this country, and I know that you do too. But we will not recognize America in a few short years if we allow the chemical castration of our children to continue. Is our current EPA with us or against us? History will not ask how cheap our food was, but whether our children were healthy. And we must not be the generation that chose profit over fertility. Charlie Kirk was MAHA, and so are we. Before I go, I should say if you like hearing from Firebrand women, we have just opened up early registration for our rebranded Women's Summit, WLS, the Women's Leadership Summit for all ages, June 5th through 7th in San Antonio, Texas. Go to WLS 2026 right now. Here is a quick teaser. Thank you.